You're now witnessing the Eddie Block and Joe Coco Show.
Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side, ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 minds for the trolls. Let's roll. Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side, ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Jennifer's not with us. We're just chilling. We gotta get a new soundboard. How's it going, Pamela? How's it going? Thought we'd do a 70s, 70s sportscaster look today with the sport jacket. What do you guys think? What do y'all think? I don't know. I actually kind of like it. I got to get some more of these, especially now the cold weather's coming up. Because, can't have the air conditioner on, and it's cool enough right now that I can fancy dancy up for y'all. Although my tie is a little crooked. And not all the way up. Geez, you would think I'd know how to dress myself nowadays. I'm still out to... There we go. What's up, Polly Wally? How the heck y'all doing over there? How y'all doing today? How'd everybody's day go today? Did you guys have a good day? I had an interesting day. I got to cheat. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I did a cheat day, and I wonder if Hope is here. I sent her the picture. Let me send this over to my computer real quick. Because you guys are going to be like, what in the heck? I decided to cheat today. Last night, I'm like, dude, I really want some fucking chocolate. I want some chocolate. And then today, I was good in the morning. And then I was like, you know what? I really want some chocolate. So I went and I got some chocolate. And let me see how I can go about showing you guys this chocolate. Because, oh my goodness, the chocolate that I had today... Hope is going to hate it. Hope hates it. What am I doing here? Sorry, guys. I'm a little off today. So let me show you something. Where is it? I know I got some way to do. Here we go. We'll do it this way. And then we're going to go like this. And we're going to go like this. And we're going to go to the preview. Let's see which picture this one is. Here we go. So this is what's called, this right here, this nice little looking thing right here, it's called a mint, what is it called? A mountain mint pie, right? What's up, Stacy Milligan? So this is called a mountain mint pie. So basically what it is, it's an Oreo crust. It's got mint and chip ice cream all throughout it. Then chocolate sauce all over the top with whipped cream. And a cherry. Oh my goodness, it was so good. But not only that, so it's called the mountain mint and fudge thing. So you get that, but then on the side, they give you this big old huge container of fudge. And look at it, it's already got fucking Donnie hair on there. Can you guys see the Donnie hair on there? I can. Like, look right in the little center circle. There's the Donnie hair on my fudge. Good thing I haven't opened it yet. I can't, And Donnie was happy because Donnie went in. Donnie got his attention like he always likes, the restaurant. Even though I ordered to go, you got to walk in. So I bring Donnie, and he enjoyed it. So how was your guys' day? I've been on the phone all freaking day with the Veterans Administration. And it's funny. I was supposed to call them and set something up, and it was just something, they haven't contacted me in a couple of days. So I was like, all right, I'm going to call them today. And they ended up calling me before I could even call them. So, I got my oral surgery and stuff going on. And I got pre-approved, but then they denied it. I think I talked about it last night. So they called me today and they said, well, the only reason it got denied is because your oral surgeon isn't on our electronic payment system. And he refuses because he doesn't want the government to have his banking information because he doesn't trust the government. So it's actually not my fault. And and I'm not going to have to pay anything because he's just got to. They email me and text me and said they're working on it. So now I guess the RO surgeon's finally going to do that. So it's like, whew, because that's 10. Just the one procedure. The first procedure was like 8,000. The second one was 10,000. So you gotta. I don't want to pay $10,000 that the insurance is willing to pay, right? And I still have 2 more to do. So, anyways, then I'm like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of always fighting with the insurance company. I'm allowed to go to the VA. I just have to ask the VA permission. So I spent the rest of the day on the Fresno VA hospital or whatever they call it, and they are working to get my credentials because they looked me up and they know I'm considered 100% disabled veteran, which I don't know why I'm considered that. They should have another name for me, but that's what they call me. And they's like, oh yeah, you're 100% fully insured by the VA administration, blah blah blah. So they said they should be able to fix it. So now I can just go to the VA hospital. I can do it all in one spot instead of finding doctors all over the place, right? Anyways, so yeah, so let's do our quote of the day. And Stacy sent me some pictures yesterday. So when we get to the picture of the day, it's going to be one from Stacy. All right, so this is I had a better picture, but it wasn't a picture. It was some weird link, and I couldn't get it on my computer. But this is the same one almost. I like Star Wars, so you got to do. It says, "Do or do not. There is no try." And basically, whenever you hear somebody say, "All right, I'll try and be better. I'll try and do a good job at work. I'll try and earn money," then you're not really gonna do it. I mean, you're giving yourself a way out because then you can say, "Hey, I tried. I freaking tried." Right? But no, that's not how it works. You have to do. There's a big difference between trying to do something and doing something. Say, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna mow my lawn, right? You're gonna mow the lawn tomorrow. But if you say, well, tomorrow I'm gonna try and mow the lawn, more than likely you're not gonna freaking do it, right? So that's how it is. Anyways, Jennifer's not here today. She had a rough day apparently, so last minute we decided it would be better, just to give her some time, to calm her nerves and stuff or whatever's going on. I don't know. I don't ask, but I guess we can do this for her because also, so God Rides a Harley in our text group sent us a long statement today with a picture of somebody, and I know he's been having some issues in his family. And I'm not going to go into detail, but I think something is going on there. Just assuming, and when we assume, we make an ass out of you and me. But it gives me a reason to take a sip of my Crown Royal Salted Caramel, right? So, since Gra's having a bad day and Jennifer's having a bad day, this is to you guys. Everybody take a drink for Jennifer and for Gra, who, if you don't know, is God Rides a Harley. Man, you ever had like a Werther's original candy? It's like liquid Werther's original candy. What's up, Tony? Hey, Munkets, how the heck you doing, my friend? Hey, I got a question for y'all. I always, every Tuesday and Thursday, I watch Off-Label podcasts. They're, fellow streamers and they're cool dudes. And I go in there today and I'm2 Tweak was like, Eddie, Davey wants to fight you because you're stealing all of his watchers. Did they say something? Are they like, I don't tell you guys to come over here. I actually go watch them before the show. So, I mean, I hope they're not upset with me. If they are, I love you guys. I've been on your show. I told you I'd come back on your show. If people are coming here, they come here. It's just they watch part of your show, then they watch part of my show. It's all back and forth. Anyways, so that's the quote of the day today. We got a lot of, we're going to do one section that's really long. So it might be a late night tonight, especially, here's the deal. So we got to talk about, the hearing. We got a hearing that, hold on, let me remember exactly which hearing it is that I'm talking about, because it's a long one. It is about President Trump, and where is it? So it's the Homeland Security and Government Affairs United States Senate Committee on it. And this is the examination of the U.S. Secret Service planning and security failures related to the July 13th. And this thing is long. It's like, I don't think we're going to go through all of it. It's 60 some odd pages long. But I say, you work. Oh, I'm so sorry you missed work, Tony. My bad. Oh, man, I'm so sorry. By the way, Tony, oh man, I don't know how to say it. Tony, is there any way you can go to Discord? I sent you a hi message like when you first became on Discord. And if you can figure out how to use that, there's something I really want to tell you in private. Nothing bad, but it's about something about me. So if you could learn how to use Discord messengers, I would love to send you a message later on tonight when the show is over. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. But then, so yesterday we were talking about remember I was looking in Austin. I met a gentleman who the mom was taking the kid away and trying to make him into a transgender person. I found the video, but we can't play it on YouTube. So we're going to play that video after we get on Rumble only, because they say some stuff that might get me kicked off of YouTube. And also, by the way, it's my brain's freezing. So it's in front of the Austin where it is the state capitol. So it's in front of the state capitol in Austin. It's kind of windy, so it's a little hard to hear. But I felt so bad for this dad. It's awful. So you guys will like that. But let's get to the news, guys. Let's get to the news. All right, Mayor Attic. Did I say Attic? Mayor Eric Adam. He's indicted by the grand jury finally. So here it says, New York Times. Eric L. Adams, a retired police captain who was elected as New York City's 110th mayor nearly 3 years ago on a promise to rein in crime. How do you rein in crime when your whole goal is to defund the police? Didn't New York have that big, huge defund the police thing? Remember that? Yet he was going to rein in crime while defunding the police. Well, he has been indicted following a federal corruption investigation. People with knowledge of matter said on Wednesday. And so we talked about this last night, but apparently there's some new development. And, I couldn't really find it today. So I just open up X again on him. And let's see, because last night it was a closed subpoena. And somebody found the subpoena today. So, whoa, what the heck? We don't want to look at that. Is planning to give up $10,000 to every legal. So it's all legal. So here's the indictment. Here we go. So here's count one. Count one of his indictment is conspiracy to commit wire fraud, federal program bribery, and receive campaign contributions by foreign nationals. Count number two is wire fraud, which is a big, huge deal. Count number three is solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national. There's a frog. There's a frog in my house somewhere. Great. Solicitations of, two counts of that. And then bribery. Hold on, let's see. Anyways. All right. Hopefully that person that just texted me, we can talk about that later. So the Dems flipped on him. That's what I've been hearing. The Democrats have been flipping on him because he went off on him. And I know there was one that says, here we go. This is where it is. They're saying this is it because he's opposing.
We're getting no
if I can make this
support
That's what she said.
on this national crisis. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy.
And son of a.
We're getting no.
Sorry, guys. It went to the big version of it. I don't want the big version of it. So he's talking about this being a national crisis, right? Crises, however you want to call it. And about the invasion of all these illegal aliens here, right? So get this. He was a sanctuary city, said, come on to New York, it's okay. So then Governor Abbott and places, down in Florida, they start sending all their illegals, busted them to New York. And then he started realizing he's like, holy shit, this is really a big, big, bad problem. And now he started denouncing the issues, or talking bad about the Democrats, and this is what this video is about. But it's going to make it big again.
We're getting no support
Here we
on
go. We can at
this
least show this part.
national crisis. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10.
Won't you play just as a normal screen on here? Darn it. Whoa. I don't want you guys to see that at all, so thank goodness you couldn't see that. But anyway, so he's basically talking bad about the Democrats. That's why the Democrats are pissed off at him. Let's see if I can just play it in this small mode right here. Hit play.
New York City.
Here we go.
We're getting 10,000 migrants a month.
All right, so those comments were made September 6th of last year, less than 2 months.
So that's what they...
We're getting no support.
Sorry, I know you guys don't want to hear this guy
this
again, but that's what they're doing to him. And so you know what, even the Democrats now are learning not to mess with the Democrats. So this is a good thing in my opinion, and I'm going to explain why I think this is a good thing. This is a real good thing because, like, look at Fannie Willis, whatever that hoe bag's name is, and those guys. The Democrats got them to prosecute President Trump for false pretenses, for all this bad stuff, right? And look what's happening to him. Look at the backlash that's happening to him. So next time they go to use somebody like that, hopefully that person's going to say, F you, look what you just did to Fannie Willis. Look what you did to Eric Adams, right? They are messing all of this up. So they're burning bridges, basically. That's the best word for it, burning bridges. And I'm looking at the X right here, and I have some notifications. Some guy sent me a thing today, and he's like, hey, I want to ask you something about your video. Please email me. And I don't just ignore those right away, because sometimes they're attorneys that contact me to help somebody get out of jail. And I reply, they said, here's my email. So I emailed them, and I'm like, first off, I don't know who you are. So first you got to tell me who you are before I'm even going to talk to you. And I had my phones, I had like 5 emails. So I had my phone sent to 1 email only, and I didn't see it. Then I go on Twitter, and he's like, hey, everybody, I got a hold of Eddie, and he's going to talk to me. And I was like, who the F are you, right? You know what? I never said I was going to talk to you, and I don't think he said that, but, it's just what popped. When I read it, that's what happened in my head. It's like, really? I don't know who the F you are. And unless you're a lawyer trying to help get somebody out of jail, talking to me is going to get you no information. So that's another thing that kind of set me off today, right? So hey, God Rides a Harley's over there in Locals. He's watching the Cowboys game. Grow, I just took a shot for you because I got that weird text from you in our text group, and I thought maybe something was wrong. So we did a shot for you, Grow. But yeah, so this is what's happening to Eric Adams. He's learning what happens when you're the errand boy for the Democrats, that as soon as they're done with you, they just throw your ass away. They just throw your ass away. So now this, Iran releases a video depicting President Trump's assassination. And we have nothing but silence from the Biden-Harris administration, said Katie Pavlich. During a campaign stop Wednesday afternoon, former President Donald Trump did not hold back against the Iranian regime actively plotting to kill him. Tuesday night, the Trump campaign revealed the former president was given a briefing on Iran's threats by Biden administration officials shortly after the statement. Oh, you know what? Okay, I got to get rid of one of these. I forgot. We had chat issues last night. So let's get rid of that one. And now we should be good. There you go. Oh, your mom's doing okay? Okay, I wasn't sure, Gra. I wasn't sure. So, I love you, man. You're a real close friend of mine. And so I wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure, you're in our prayers and thoughts. But anyway, so this is the video. So it says right here, this video was posted on Ayatollah's website. I guess we should expect nothing less from a terrorist regime. My father had Iran almost bankrupt. Then the Biden-Harris administration gave them billion, or game them. Oh, see, yeah, so it says administration game, but it should say gave. Donald J. Jr., you had a little mess up there, but gave them billions, making the world a far more dangerous place. So let's see what this video is. I haven't even watched it, to be honest with you. I haven't watched it at all. So let's watch this bad boy. I'm gonna make it a little bigger for you guys. That's torn. Let's try this way. Let's see if it looks better here in this version. That doesn't look better. What about this better? Let's try this one. You can almost see all. It's we can see it all. Holy shit, that's loud. What's up, Elle? Or K, LK. Yeah, we heard about that, I think, a little. It's all AI generated. Okay, I don't know about this. I mean, do you really think that the Ayatollah and, you know, the Iranians would go this far into making a video? That's not their thing. Their video is them with masks on or having somebody there in a mask with guns and saying, "We are going to kill President Trump." That's the kind of video I expect from them, right? This is a little bit way too much over the top. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think? Doesn't this seem a little over the top for an Iranian company to post? Here it says Marco Rubio says the Iranian threat against Donald Trump is the most serious plot by a foreign power against the American leader ever. Reminder, the official website of the Ayatollah released this video in January of 2022. So this is videos from 2022. But I mean, I don't know. Doesn't it seem a little over the top for something that Iran would be doing? Or is that is that just me or what do you guys think? It just seems a little bit too much over the top. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm wrong quite often. So I mean, what do you guys think about that one? But we're going to keep going because we are going to go through the Senate hearing on the July 13th event, which was the Thomas Crooks. The Secret Service has got the report out. It's like 60 pages long, and we want to get to it. And then one other thing, guys, for those of you that just got here, at the very end of the show, we're going to show a video of when I was in Austin, Texas, at the state capitol back in 2021, when there's a gentleman there who his wife had taken control of their son and was keeping him away and trying to put him in jail because she wanted to have a sex change operation on their, I believe it might have been an 8-year-old. It's been so long, I don't remember. But we can't show this video on YouTube, so we're going to show it after we get to YouTube, to Rumble only. It's a heartbreaking video. I'm not a parent. I'm not able. Well, I can't have kids, but they'll be crippled like me, so I won't put them through it. And for this mother to be putting a son through this kind of stuff really, really irks me. So we're gonna watch that video later on. And Donnie's here. He wants his treat, but he hasn't even eaten his breakfast yet because he gets too many treats. So this guy right here is not getting any treats tonight because he's not eating his food. Okay, anti-Semitic college group playing Week of Rage on the anniversary of October 7th attack on Israel. So they're celebrating October 7th. According to the Daily Wire, on October 7th, 2023, Hamas slaughtered 1,200 of Israelis in cold blood, burning families alive, raping women until their bodies became unrecognizable, and taking 8 American hostages. This is disgusting. What is, I still don't get it. Why are the most intelligent professors and the most intelligent people in the, well, I guess not really, right? They say those who can do, those who can't teach. So maybe I shouldn't be giving these professors that much credit. But I mean, look what they're teaching these freaking kids. I mean, you don't see any protests for what happens to the Jewish people, right? But the Palestinians, I mean, what the F is going on here? I mean, I just don't get this. I don't get this. So let me show you. They have an Instagram post, and that's not going to show you enough of it. And that one's in the wrong direction. Let's try this one. Maybe you can see it better. Yeah, you can read a little bit better. So here it says, October 7th through 11th, the week of rage, 1 year of genocide for Gaza, we rise. Students across the country and the world will rise together for a week of rage on October 7th through 11th. That's kind of funny. 7-11. Thank you. Come again. To mark a genocide in Gaza. For over 11 months now, the Zionist entity, with the backing of the U.S. and our universities, has committed a horrific attack on the nearly 2 million Palestinians living in the Gaza Strip. And our universities, what university do we have that's pro Israel? Every freaking campus around there is pro-Palestinian. Give me a freaking break here. Why you put, anyways, they've committed a horrific attack on the nearly 2 million Palestinians living in the Gaza Strip. Since the start of this genocide, the people of Gaza have continued to stand steadfast, resilient, and unwavering in the face of these crimes. It is for them that we rise. During these 11 months, we, the students, have confronted the Zionist and imperialist forces in our own universities, fighting to end, I saw something up here, the financial, academic, and ideological ties that our institutions have to this ongoing genocide and colonial project. For a year, we have risen, and for Gaza, we will continue to rise no matter how long it takes. We will rise to the end to end our university's complicity in this genocide, to fight for the end of the colonization of Palestine. Oh, I'm sorry. Brain freeze. I got it backwards. I'm reading it backwards. Hello. I read it backwards. Sorry, guys. This is good. This is pro-Israel. But still, my bad. Sorry, guys. Having a bad day. My brain's not working too well. I've been spending the whole day messing with the BA. We continue to rise no matter how long it takes. We'll rise to end our university's complicity in this genocide, to fight for the end of colonization of the Palestine, and to fight for the complete liberation of Palestine from the river. Oh no, wait a minute. I was right. This is confusing to me. See, it's going back and forth. My brain is so dead today. Sorry. You guys, I read it for you guys. You can make your own choice. Eddie's having a bad day, and I need to hit that energy drink because my brain is going back and forth. Right, Pamela G? Somebody can straighten me out on this. Sorry, guys. But I read it. You guys saw what I read. You guys can make your own assumptions. And that is it. What the heck is going on? Did my chat freeze up again or something? Anyways, Eddie messes up and the whole chat freezes. So let's go to the next one, which is 5. We're gonna do 5, and I can actually move this over here now. Sorry, guys. I can't believe I made that fucking mistake. I'm just so confused right now. Let me see. Is anybody chatting? Did everybody get kicked off? Or did my chat freeze up again like it did yesterday? Let me see. Nope, there's somebody. There's Tony. Anyway, so Senate report details critical security failures of the Secret Service during the Butler rally. So we're just going to go straight into this. We're going to go right into this. I have it over here. And it is a 60-some-odd page document, guys. And I think it's very, very, very important that we read this. So we're going to skim through it a little bit. But so here it is. United States Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs. I thought y'all got mad at me because I got so confused there for a second. Like I said, I didn't get much sleep last night. Then I was on the phone with the BA the whole entire day trying to fix my situation with them. And then I had a cheat day. You know what it is? I got that chocolate mint chip ice cream fudge combination going on. It's messing with my head. So excuse me for one day. Eddie made a mistake today. Sorry, guys. So, examination of the U.S. Secret Service planning and security failures related to the July 13th, 2024 interim joint report. So, just so you guys know, this is from hsgac.senate.gov. And so this is from the Senate. This is real. This is something we can, well, we can't really trust our government that much, right? So, Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, Bipartisan Staff Report, September 2024. Here's all of the, we don't got to read this stuff. See, look, it goes up to page 67. And no, you're not getting a treat, dude, not until you eat your dinner. Actually, holy shit, I'm wrong. It goes to page 91. So we're going to try and kind of skim through this as fast as we can. So it says right here, on July 13th, 2024, Thomas Crooks bought 50 rounds of ammo on his way to Butler, Pennsylvania, and he drove to former President Trump's campaign rally at the Butler Farm Showgrounds. He climbed on the roof of the American Glass Research Building, less than 200 yards away from where the former president was speaking, where at 6:11 p.m., he fired 8 rounds from an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, killing 1 person and injuring 3 others, including the former president. So real quick, guys, I already had 1 drink. We're going to have another drink for that fireman and the other people that were hurt there that day and President Trump. So might as well have another drink for him, right? To you guys. I'm telling you, this stuff tastes like Werther's original candy. So that day he was able to fly a drone 200 yards from the site. So he flew his drone. He used a rangefinder capable of gauging the distance to the former president less than an hour before he began speaking. And he brought. It's not bring. Bring 2 explosive devices. That's brought 2 explosive devices. Yes, I'm the grammar police today. Within proximity of the site of the rally. The United States Secret Service, USS planning, communications, intelligence sharing, and related security failures in advance of and during the July 13th directly contributed to Crook's ability to carry out the assassination attempt and kill and injure people in Butler, Pennsylvania that day. So this is from the government investigation. This is their investigation. So it says on July 30th, 2024, Ronald L. Rowe, Jr., the acting director of the USSS, United States Secret Service, testified in a joint hearing, before the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee and Judiciary Committee that the attempted assassin, burping today from the crown, was a failure on multiple levels. Acting Director Rowe testified before the committees that he has since initiated several reforms to address clear deficiencies in how the Secret Service provides security for its protectees. During the July 30th hearing, Acting Director Rowe acknowledged that the Secret Service responsibility for protecting former President Donald J. Trump in a series, I hate when, well, I guess it's okay, in a series of transcribed interviews conducted by the Homeland Security, what is it called? Anyways, you know what it's called, JAC. And the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, key Secret Service personnel responsible for planning, coordinating, communicating, and securing the Butler, Pennsylvania rally on July 13th, declined to acknowledge individual areas of responsibility for planning or security as having contributed to the failure to prevent the shooting that day. So they basically said, you know what? F it. Oh, you want hugs and Nightbot? You know what? Shoot, Hope is not here. I got a question for you all. So I got this little app called Nightbot. And like you can actually, like if you type in !Tony, it'll say Tony loves playing with his guns or something like that. I got to do one for Pamela. No, I have one for Pam. Hit !Pam, I think. But if anybody wants to help me out to working with my my Nightbot, like you could do the commands for me live, because I can't change it while I'm live because I'm working here. If anybody wants to help me with that, you can actually let me know, and I'll I might have to vet you a little bit. Probably not, because I know all of you in here, and I'll give you a password to get into my program, and you can mess with Nightbot for me. You can help me out. You can be part of the Eddie Block Films team. So, anyways, so Secret Service is basically saying we didn't make no mistakes. What are you talking about? There was no mistakes, kind of like that, right? It says even when, as an agency, the Secret Service has acknowledged ultimate responsibility for the failure to prevent the former president of the United States from being shot. So they're more like saying, you know what? It's exclamation Pam, I believe. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. All right, you know what? Real quick, I'll show you guys real quick. Nightbot. Let's go here. Let me go log in. I'll show you what I mean. Log in with YouTube. So this is Nightbot. These are commands we can have in there. We'll go to custom commands. So like hashtag Andy will say this. Andy in Colorado likes to tickle his keys. You probably can't really see it because it's so small. Like hashtag Goofy for Jesus hugs and back scratches. So you can do that kind of stuff. There is no Eddie one. You think I would let you guys have an Eddie one? You guys are out of your mind. There is no Eddie one. It would probably say Eddie's kind of a big deal is what it would say. But if anybody has really need a lot of knowledge on working on the internet, if somebody wants to help us out with that, let me know and I'll make you part of my team. All right. So at the direction of U.S. Senators Gary Peters and Rand Paul, Chairman and Ranking Member of the HSGAC, and Senators Richard Blumenthal and Ron Johnson, Chairman and Ranking Member of the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, Majority and Minority Committee, blah, 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 blah. This interim report. This interim report details the information that the committee has learned to date, as well as the committee's preliminary findings. The committee finds that the Secret Service failures in planning communications, security, and allocation of resources for the July 13th, 2024. So they're saying, yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong. Butler rally were foreseeable, preventable, and directly related to the events resulting in the assassination attempt that day. The committee also finds that siloed communications and coordination problems between federal, state, and local law enforcement officials remain unaddressed and were a contributing factor to the failures at the July 13th Butler rally. If you guys are conspiracy theorists, like some of you are, and like I can be sometimes, I think those failures were on purpose, or that the wrong people were put there, the lowest of the low, because they don't care about President Trump whatsoever. So here it says on September 15th, 2024, a suspect was taken into custody in West Palm Beach, Florida, after being identified by the Secret Service hiding in a tree line with a semi-automatic rifle and a scope approximately 300 to 500 yards from where former President Trump was playing golf at Trump International Golf Club. On September 16th, the Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Secret Service, and Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, held a press conference to provide an update on the investigation. September 16th, the suspect was charged with possession of a firearm and ammunition by a convicted felon, among other charges. According to the complaint, the suspect's mobile phone, depending on how you want to say it, was in the vicinity of the area along the tree line for approximately 12 hours prior to the incident. The FBI has said it is investigating the incident as an apparent assassination attempt. The committee has requested briefings from the Secret Service and the FBI. The committee will be pursuing additional information from the USSS, which is the Secret Service, FBI, and other relevant federal agencies as the committee continues its investigation. Right? Stacy calls it weaponized incompetence. Hey, Stacy, if you're going to leave before this is done, let me know so I can show your picture of the day, because that's coming up after this. And because I don't know how long this is, I haven't read this. When I do stuff like this, I love to wait. The chat's messed up again. See, we had an issue with our chat last night. So, there we go. So, if I like to read these on purpose in front of you guys, because it's you get to see my reaction, and I don't like it when people do fake reactions, So I prefer to do it like this. 9 times out of 10. So the committee actions to date. On July 15, 2024, Chairman Peters and Ranking Member Paul Ranking Member Paul, or do you mean Rand? See, somebody was typing this fast. Announced their investigation into. I mean, no, sorry, Rand. Never mind. See what I mean, guys? My brain is backwards today. It's Rand Paul, not Paul Rand. Duh. Announced their investigation into the assassination attempt on former President Trump and called for a briefing and public hearing within 15 days. On July 24th and 25th, Chairman Peters and Blumenthal and ranking members Paul and Johnson sent 10 letters requesting documents and information from the Social Security or Secret Service, FBI, Department of Homeland Security, Office of Intelligence and Analysis, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and Explosives. I'm sorry. When did they add explosives to that? Beaver County District Attorney, Butler County District Attorney, Butler County, blah, 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 all these people. On July 25th, the Secret Service Director Rowe and FBI National Security Branch Executive Assistant Director Wells provided a closed-door, unclassified briefing. So I'm wondering, so it says unclassified briefing. So is there still classified stuff that they didn't brief them on? Or did they unclassify stuff just for behind that closed-door meeting? What do you guys think? Which way do you think it is? Just they only gave you the information that's unclassified? Or because it was behind closed doors, they gave all the information, but they only unclassified it for that one time period, just for those committee members. I don't know. It says on July 30th, 24, Director Rowe and FBI Director Paul Abate testified at a joint public hearing before the Senate's committees. On August 14th, the committee wrote to Department of Homeland Security, Mayorkas, dumbass, and FBI Director Wray, another dumbass, seeking additional information about July 12th, 2024, arrest of Asif Merchant for allegedly orchestrating a plot to assassinate U.S. government officials and politicians, and any information related to security decisions by the U.S. or the Secret Service in advance of July 13th. Sorry, somebody's texting me, setting me off my things. SS to the outer circle. I think so. Corey Mills suggested that Trump's inner security circle be all private. I would highly agree on that. As part of its bipartisan investigation, committee staff traveled to Butler, Pennsylvania on July 26th to conduct a site visit walkthrough of the Butler Farm Show and AGR building and receive briefings from local law enforcement officials. Specifically, committee staff spoke with law enforcement from Butler and Beaver counties, their emergency service units that provided support to the Secret Service on July 13th, including the local snipers posted in the AGR building. It's getting hot. And those officials. The committee has also interviewed 4 local law enforcement officers who provided their support on July 13th, 3 local snipers and 1 quick response force operator, and the president of Clairton Sportsman's Club and 2 rally attendees. The committee has also examined state and local operational plans and other related information provided by PSB, Butler County ESU, Beaver County ESU, and reviewed local radio communications on July 13th provided by the Butler County Emergency Services. This is the issue with freaking college, folks. They make you write freaking 10,000 pages of something you can write in half an hour. I mean, in 1 page. All of this is a 91-page briefing that probably could have been written in 30 pages. But unfortunately, we got to read through it all. So I hope you guys stay with us and don't get too bored. Heck, I might end up getting drunk tonight if I keep drinking with it. So they reviewed local radio communications on July 13th, reviewed body-worn camera footage, reviewed transcripts of audio recordings. So I'm gonna do like a real quick briefing. So look, audio recordings, several PSP interviews of state and local law officials. They did a lot of transcribed interviews with the Secret Service personnel. They examined over 2,800 pages of documents, conducted 12 transcribed interviews with Secret Service personnel responsible for planning the security in Butler. As they discussed at the conclusion of this report, key requests by the FBI, DHS, ATF, and Secret Service remained outstanding. So they didn't remaining outstanding means that they haven't given them their information back. The majority of the documents provided by the Secret Service and DHS are heavily redacted, which is just like my dad's DD-214. They take and it's all blacked out, so you can't read the majority of it. This has unnecessarily hindered the committee's ability to carry out its authority, investigate, and acquire information because of this. These overly burdensome redactions, including communications related to the same individuals who the committee interviewed, only serve to delay the committee's ability to conduct the interviews and carry out its investigation efficiently and effectively. Even though they had those, the committee recognized the need to conduct transcribed interviews with the Secret Service personnel as soon as possible. So why do you think they're doing that, guys? Why do you think they're doing it? Do you think that they're trying to hinder it by redacting all this information? Do you think that they're slow walking the information so that way it'll take them past the election until they get going, right? So who knows? Who knows? I mean, we're all conspiracy theorists here in some way, right? It says, in addition, as detailed in the report below, the individuals responsible for planning and security for the July 13th rally provided contradictory or incomplete information. You owe something to Gra at halftime? What are you? I know what Gra always asks for. I don't want to see it. So the interim report highlights preliminary findings based on the committee's transcribed interviews. Let's see, it's limited document productions that they received so far. They do not consider the extent to which other agencies' individuals may have contributed to these events, if at all. So they're saying some of these people haven't even freaking done it. You need Goofy for Jesus. She's an awesome back scratcher. The committee is choosing to present these preliminary findings while its investigation remains ongoing to ensure the public has the most accurate and up-to-date information. All right, now we're getting to the good stuff. They'll continue to pursue all information, blah, blah, blah. So let's read this. These are the key failures, you guys. The key failures. The Secret Service failed to clearly define responsibilities for planning and security at the July 13th rally. The Secret Service personnel responsible for planning in advance of the July 13th rally denied that they were individually responsible for planning the security failures. Wow. We planned this whole event, but we didn't mess with the security failures, not us. Here it says the Secret Service advanced agents told the committee that planning and security decisions were made jointly with no specific individual responsible for the approval. Doesn't that sound a little weird? Even though there's Secret Service, blah, 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 cops, there should be one single person in charge responsible for everything, right? Each, like the police should have their own person in charge, the Secret Service and the sheriff and whoever else. But then there's over them, they go to the one person in charge. That's how it should work, right? Am I wrong? So item number 2 says the Secret Service failed to ensure that the AGR building was effectively covered. The Secret Service identified the AGR building as a concern due to the line of sight from the roof to the stage, but it did not take steps to ensure sufficient security measures were in place. The Secret Service knew that local snipers planned to set up inside that AGR building, and the Secret Service did not express objections or concerns about the placement. Why weren't they on top? Secret Service personnel included the USS Counter Sniper Team leader, hold on right here, did not enter the AGR building or go on the roof prior to the shooting. I mean, we've all seen the footage, right? We've seen the pictures. That building was direct sight to President Trump. You're telling me nobody thought of putting anybody up there? I call BS. I seriously and honestly call BS on that one. It says Secret Service Counter Sniper Team, whose responsibility included scanning the area around the AGR building for threats, had an obstructed view of the AGR roof. Says the Secret Service, here we go, here, number 3. They failed to coordinate with state and local law enforcement. They did not give state or local partners specific instructions for covering the AGR building, including the positioning of local snipers. Now, also, wouldn't you think? So, the sheriff has a different police radio band than the police department, than the FBI's and the Secret Service, right? But shouldn't there been, like, they say, okay, let's all go to this channel, maybe? Or at least had somebody in one room that had all voices coming into them so they could hear everything? I don't know. I'm just some dumb, freaking crazy cripple guy on the internet, but I could think of that. I watch enough TV shows to know what to do. So it says the Secret Service did not adequately consider state and local law enforcement operational plans. Communications at July 13th rally were siloed, and U.S. Secret Service did not ensure it could share information with local law enforcement partners in real time, just like I said. So number 4, the Secret Service failed to provide resources for the July 13th rally that could have enhanced security. It says here they were denied specific requests for additional counter unmanned aircraft system, meaning, drones, and counter assault team liaison. The Secret Service counter surveillance unit, which could have helped patrol the outer perimeter that included the AGR building, was not requested by the Secret Service in advance. We're just going over, this is Tony, we're going over what the Senate hearing has determined about the July 13th shooting. So far, they said they haven't got all the information they should, but they're giving us what information they do have at this point. So number 5 says the Secret Service failed to communicate information about the suspicious person to key personnel, and failed, look at this, failed, this word comes in a lot here, failed to take action to ensure the safety of former President Donald J. Trump. I don't want to go too far up. At approximately 5:45 p.m., the Secret Service personnel were notified that the local law enforcement observed a suspicious person with a rangefinder near the AGR building. 5:45, folks. 5:45. By 5:52 p.m., 7 minutes later, at least 8 Secret Service personnel had been informed. So they noticed him at 5:45. And now at 5:52, which is 7 minutes later, they know that at least 8 Secret Service personnel had known this. Approximately 2 minutes before shots were fired, the Secret Service security room located on the rally grounds was told that there was an individual on the roof of the AGR building. So 2 minutes before. 2 minutes before. As soon as the shot was fired, their snipers shot and killed him. As soon as he fired one shot, within 5 seconds, I would say. What is it? Something like that. So they had 2 whole minutes before any shot was fired to find him and shoot him. They knew he was on top of the AGR building, right? It's only one roof. It's a slanted roof. You only have to look at half of the roof, and you could have seen him. This sounds very fishy. They had... Anyway, I don't know we'll find out what time the exact shooting was. And then, so look right here. It says at 5:45 p.m. is when they first saw him up there. A police officer noticed that. And then at 5:52 p.m., 8 Secret Service officers knew he was up there. 2 minutes before shots were fired, they were told, the Secret Service was told in the security room that he was up there. That he had 2 whole minutes to find him on a small little tiny roof and take him out. Before shots were fired, the Secret Service U.S. counter sniper observed local officers running towards the AGR building with guns drawn. So if you're a sniper up there, right, your whole job, snipers have to find the person they need to shoot. So if you see somebody running toward the AGR building, aren't you going to be up at the AGR building looking, where's there somebody at? You're telling me that in those 2 minutes they couldn't find crooks. So here are the findings and recommendations. Number 1, Secret Service personnel were notified of a suspicious person with a rangefinder around the building 27 minutes before the shooting. The report of a suspicious person with a rangefinder near the AGR building relayed to Social Security room at approximately 5:44 p.m. 5:44. So let's see. 27 minutes, so that would make it 16. So at 5, they're saying that the shooting happened at 5:11, right? The shooting happened at 5:11 according to what they just said here. At 6:11, they knew that he was up there. 6:11, it says right here at 5:52 p.m., 8 Secret Service personnel had been informed. So that gives them 19 minutes to find him and take him out. What were they doing for those 19 freaking minutes? Right? This sounds a little hokey to you guys, or am I wrong? Sounds a little hokey to me. So at and they told the counter sniper team leader at 5:45 p.m. Shortly after, Secret Service personnel, including a counter sniper response agent, engaged in an on-the-ground effort to locate the individual. Okay, so they told them, hey, there's a guy up on the roof of the AGR building. There's a guy up on the roof on the AGR building. Instead of looking on the roof, it says right here. They sorry, I'm trying to take my neck's hurting. Where am I? So they engaged in an on the ground effort. On the ground when the guy's up on the roof. Sorry. However, the Secret Service lead advanced agent, site agent, and site counterpart all told the committee they didn't receive this information and therefore they didn't know that local law enforcement identified a suspicious person. They're saying they didn't know. But look, right up here, it says at approximately 5:45 p.m., U.S. Secret Service personnel were notified. They were notified, right? Right there, they were notified. Okay, sorry, we got to go back down here. They said, well, but we weren't notified. The Secret Service lead agent, and site counterpart said they did not receive this information. But up there it said at 5:45, 8, or by 5:52, 8 different Secret Service people knew about it. And the Secret Service are all on the same channel. They all can sit there and send that information through. So it's really bothering me about this, okay? Now it says the committee, they did not receive this information and did not know local law enforcement had identified a suspicious person with a rangefinder, and that those local officers lost track of the individual until after shots were fired. They just said up above that at 5:50, what was it, 5:52? Hold on, where was it? We got to go up a little higher. Well, anyways, I'm sure they'll talk about it in here. So by 5:52, at least 8 Secret Service knew about it. So it says 3 minutes before shots were fired, a local law enforcement officer sent out a radio alert that there was an individual on the AGR roof. So now they have 3 minutes to say, hey, snipers, there's some guy on the roof, take him out. 3 whole minutes. But yet they didn't do it. This information was passed to the Secret Service security room approximately 2 minutes before Crooks fired. Okay, so then they had 2 minutes then. In 2 minutes, I can say, snipers, AGR roof, take them out. That took what, 5 seconds? Then it would see, okay, I found him. Do I have permission to shoot? What is that, less than 20 seconds? Right? But they had 2 whole minutes. 2 whole minutes. It says approximately 22 seconds before Crooks fired, a local officer sent out a radio alert that the individual on the AGR roof was armed, but that was not relayed to key Secret Service personnel. Once again, why didn't they have a room that had radios from every single division so they could say, hey, police department just saw this guy up there? Sounds kind of fishy to me. Number 3 says, shortly before shots were fired, the counter sniper saw a local law enforcement running towards the AGR building with their guns drawn, but he did not alert former President Trump's protective detail to remove him from the stage. Okay, now that's questionable right there. Isn't that questionable to you guys? I mean, if you see officers running with their guns drawn, the first thing you should say is get President Trump out. Get President Trump out. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have freaking done. Okay, are we freaking stuck up again? Are we all chat all messed up again? Hold on. I think my chat froze maybe. Did my chat freeze? I don't know. You guys tell me. Is my chat frozen? Is my chat frozen? Somebody say something. Anyway, I want to keep going. So number 4, or let's see, wait. Okay, here's what he says. The Secret Service counter sniper told the committee that while seeing officers with their guns drawn elevated the threat level, the thought to notify someone to get Trump off the stage did not cross his mind. Didn't cross his mind. Secret Service counter snipers, including the one who shot and killed Brooks, were sent to the rally in response to credible intelligence of a threat. So these guys were sent there on purpose. Right, Tony? Thank you. I think it's a setup too. So these guys were sent there on purpose because they knew that there was a threat on President Trump's life. But yet, seeing officers run with their guns drawn is not. It didn't cross his mind to say, "Hey, get President Trump off the stage." So here it says the July 13th rally was the first time a Secret Service counter sniper team was assigned to a protectee other than the president, vice president, or a presidential candidate who had been formally nominated by their party. First time. First time. It says Secret Service provided counter snipers in response to the credible intelligence threat. However, the FBI said that Crooks was not known to the FBI prior to the assassination attempt. According to the Secret Service Director of the Office of Protective Operations, a decision to assign counter snipers to former President Trump's events occurred sometime in the first week of July. Thank you, Stacy. U.S. Secret Service personnel interviewed by the committee, nearly all, including the intelligence advance agent and the special service in charge of the Pittsburgh office, said they were unaware of any incredible intelligence of a threat. Look right here. It says they were unaware of any credible intelligence of a threat, which is funny because right up here, it says the July 13th rally was the first time a U.S. Secret Service counter sniper team was assigned to a protectee, and it said, where did it say it? Maybe this is it right here. It says right here, because U.S. Secret Service provided the counter snipers in response to credible intelligence of a threat. So look at this right here. Secret Service, United States Secret Service, USSS, provided the counter snipers because of a credible intelligence of a threat. But down here, just like 3 lines down, the Secret Service personnel interviewed by the committee, nearly all including them, the intelligence advanced agent and the special agent in charge, said they were unaware of credible intelligence of threat. But up here, that's the whole reason why the Secret Service sent the counter snipers. Let me know when you're ready to go, Stacy. Actually, no, we'll do this right now. We'll take a break for a second. We'll go to the photo of the day so we can show Stacy's pictures that I chose. She sent me a whole bunch of beautiful pictures, but this was the one I chose for the picture of the day. Stacy, did you want to make a comment about this picture? Is this a photograph? Is this a painting? You know, it's beautiful. I love it. I really like this one. I enjoy this one a lot. What the hell's going on out there? Hold on a second. There's somebody outside, guys. I'll be right back. Somebody's here at my house. What's going on here? Sorry, guys. All my dogs are freaking going psycho out there. Donnie wants to kill somebody. Oh, monster. Oh, monster. You were in the tub with Pam. Sorry about that, guys. Something's going on out there. Somebody was yelling. Somebody was yelling. All right, let's go back to this report that we're reading here. There goes Donnie outside barking again. Okay, so advanced agents for the July 13th rally denied individual responsibility for the planning and security failures, deflected the blame, and could not identify who had final decision authority for the rally. Okay, this is just getting fishier and fishier, right, guys? There should be one person in charge of this rally. Nobody can say who was in charge. How does that work? How does that work? That has won hundreds of awards. I love that one, Stacy. It's a photograph. Nice. That's a beautiful photograph. So it says the Secret Service planning and execution of security measures for the July 13 rally appears to have lacked a clear chain of command. So do you guys think they just sent the worst of the worst to protect President Trump? Or do you think this was done on purpose? We could go, there's so many different ways. Like my therapist says, do your lawyer talk. So let's do the lawyer talk. So the lawyer talk can say this. We could say, okay, conspiracy theorist one, that this was all, they just got the worst of the worst. And they got the worst of the worst because they don't like President Trump. Then they could have said all these failures were on purpose because they knew there was a plan for President Trump to be shot. The third one could be, I guess, well, they did their best, which I'm putting the third one way out of there. I think this was done for a reason. I really do. They keep saying President, Biden's in charge of the Secret Service, his committees and stuff, his administration. I think that this was all done on purpose. I think this was a huge setup. Just like I think the Ross one is a setup. I think they're out to try and kill President Trump. And if it is true and the truth comes out, and I hope it does, and President Trump wins the election, whoever's in charge of this should get murdered for treason, right? Wouldn't treason be the proper thing for this? Treason. Terrorist attacks, treason. Tell me what you guys think. We're not even done. We're freaking like, how many pages? There's 90 pages. We're only 7 pages in. So sorry, guys. This is going to take a while. But I don't know about you guys, but I think this is very important. So we're going to read it all. It might be a late night. I don't know. The Secret Service advanced agents told the Committee of Planning and Security decisions were collaborative and could not agree on who at the Secret Service was responsible for final approval. Once again, there's always an agent in charge. This is baloney. Local law enforcement raised concern about security coverage of the AGR building. And this is a member of Butler ESU told the committee he notified the Secret Service and advanced agents during a walkthrough on Thursday, and that local law enforcement did not have the manpower to lock that building down. The Secret Service advanced agent interviewed by the committee gave conflicting accounts and told the committee that the state and local law enforcement were responsible for covering the AGR building because it was the outer perimeter. Anyways, that doesn't sound right. The counter sniper team and the site counterpart did not go into the AGR building. None of the Secret Service advanced agents shared planning documents with state or local law enforcement or requested state or local law operational plans. I missed your picture. I showed your picture. I showed it. Or you're not talking to me? So now it says Secret Service advanced personnel identified multiple line of sight concerns at the Butler farm. And up here, real quick, guys, just up here in this part, all agencies that are part of the detail should know everything. Not everything, but they should know what they're supposed to look for. They should know all that stuff. The Secret Service advanced personnel proposed positioning large trucks or heavy equipment in the area between the stage and nearby buildings to mitigate line of sight concerns. The Secret Service told the committee they relied on multiple measures, including Secret Service counter sniper teams and bleachers to mitigate lines of sight. The Secret Service ultimately did not use the trucks or heavy equipment to mitigate the line of sight concerns. The counter sniper in Hercules 2 position told the committee he believed the mitigations were sufficient and the Secret Service site counterpart told the committee she believed they had a good security plan. What's up, Gavin Newsom? Yeah, I saw that her Bonnie Willis's lover boy's on the run. We were going to look at that later on, but right now we're reading what the Senate hearing committee, special committee, has decided so far of the information that they're not getting about this. Your new favorite are freaking Gra. There were two separate communication centers at the July 13th rally, one run by Secret Service and one run by local law enforcement. Why? Don't you think there should have been a room with the person in charge of the police, the person in charge of the Secret Service, the person in charge of the snipers, all in one room, so when their radio communications could come through, they could get right to the person in charge immediately. I think that's normal operating procedures, isn't it? Or standard operating procedures? I think that's right, right? The posts were anywhere from the posts were anywhere from 120 to 300 yards apart from each other, and the primary means of communication between posts was a cell phone. Why so far away, and why cell phones? Local law enforcement and United States Secret Service operated on separate radio channels. All of the local channels were recorded on July 13th, but the Secret Service radio transmissions were not. Why did the Secret Service radio transmissions not get recorded? It's kind of fishy, right? So it says Crooks was in the Secret Service counter sniper sights for mere seconds before he fired at Crooks. The Secret Service partner of the U.S. Secret Service counter sniper who shot Crooks told the committee he observed that mere seconds after his partner identified Crooks in his sights, the Secret Service counter sniper fired at him. Counter snipers confirmed to the committee that they did not require permission before they fired. So they didn't even need to require the freaking permission. So all they had to do was see him and tick, tick. As soon as you see a sniper on there with the gun drawn, right? The minute he was in his sight. So he said mere seconds before the shooting. Mere seconds. Why didn't he shoot him the minute he freaking saw it? You're right, Gavin. It's definitely an inside job. Let's see. It says advanced agents requested additional resources that would have been helpful, but those assets were denied. So the Secret Service C-UAS operator, whoever that is, told the committee he requested additional equipment and personnel in the days before the rally. However, these requests were denied at times without explanation. Secret Service lead advanced agent told the committee that President Trump's Secret Service detail requested counter-assault team liaisons to help coordinate tactical assets in advance of the July 13th rally, but the Secret Service denied this request. Secret Service site agents and site counterpart told the committee that a counter-surveillance unit would have been helpful, but this asset is typically not provided for a former president, and Secret Service advanced agents did not request counter-surveillance. What the heck? Crock-pot dinner is always good, especially. Oh my gosh, I have this recipe for crock-pot mac and cheese with bacon, and it's got like 7 different cheeses. Oh my gosh! The only problem is I'll eat it just nonstop, and I won't poop for days. I'll get all plugged up. So it says the CUAS team from the Secret Service experienced technical problems and was inoperable until 4:33 p.m. after Crooks flew his drone near the rally site. How? What a coincidence, right? So with no backup system, the Secret Service agency responsible for overseeing it was rally called a toll-free tech support hotline to start troubleshooting with the company, which took several hours. That agent had only 3 months of experience working with that equipment. Funny how this all works, right? So let's think. The Secret Service knew that there was a threat, so they sent in a counter sniper team. But that counter sniper team said, oh, we didn't know that there was a credible threat. But they were sent there because of a credible threat. All of the communications were not put into one. Now they're saying that their system went down, right? Then the Secret Service's Radio transmissions were not recorded. Man, this is definitely looking like a setup. Says Secret Service officials reported experiencing technical problems with their radios. So Hercules 1 counter sniper was offered a local radio on July 13th, but said he did not have time to pick it up because he was occupied fixing technical problems with his radio. Well, if you go pick it up, then you wouldn't have to fix the problems with your radio, right? In addition, at the Pittsburgh airport, before the motorcade left for the rally, the Secret Service team, the Pittsburgh field office, gave the lead advance agent his radio because the lead advance agent's radio was not working. As a result, the SAIC did not have a working radio on him during his entire time at the July 13th rally. How is there this many fuck-ups? Right? There can't be this many fuck-ups. There just can't. There just can't be. There's something wrong if you read in this. Oh my goodness, corned bean and cabbage from potatoes. You don't want me in the room after that. I'll be farting all day long. So it says, while he did not hold a post or a sector and was not part of any protective information, he did claim that he was there to act more like in a liaison capacity. However, he did not have any means to communicate on the radio with the Secret Service counterparts. So what the heck is he there for then? What the heck is he there for? So this is the recommendations by him. Planning and coordination. Congress should require Secret Service to identify defined roles and responsibilities for Secret Service personnel. For all assets or for all events, they should improve coordination, responsibilities between and among the federal, state, and local law enforcement. Secret Service policies and protocols should require advanced planning and leads to request and review state and local operational plans, blah, 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 blah. Responsibility in advance of each protective event, they should designate. No shit, Sherlock. Congress should require that the Secret Service record its radio transmission at all protective events. I thought that's already in place. Secret Service to evaluate the steps it needs to take. So intelligence. United States Secret Service should consider sending additional assets, including counter snipers, to all future outdoor protective events as it evaluates the intelligent threats. Congress should evaluate their budget and resources. Security requirements should be determined depending on various threat levels, ranging from less severe to bigger. Congress should require the Secret Service allocate assets and resources based on the threat level. They just said the same damn thing. So number 3 says planning and security failures. So let's see what this planning and security failures say. On July 3rd, 2024, they began assigning key personnel responsible for planning and coordinating the security for former President Trump. His travel to Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh and Butler. In their interviews, the agents responsible for leading it provided contradictory, opaque, and non-responsive information about who was responsible for key components of the planning and security. So it sounds like these guys have been like threatened, like, you better shut the fuck up or you're going to be fired, right? Or I'm going to throw you all under the fucking bus. Right? What it kind of sounds like. In response to the questions, key planning decisions, the senior special agent who served as a lead advance agent for the July 13th, here's what he said. I don't approve anything. I clearly just take the information that the Secret Service have recommended and put together with the other information that's put together from the other advanced entities, and those are all submitted to the field office and then submitted to the Trump detail, the candidates nominations operation, and then go further headquarters. So it's all word salad. Why doesn't it like you, Stacy? Or because I haven't given you, I don't think I gave you a name yet, Stacy. It says in response to the questions by the committee, Secret Service stated that they were joint decisions and no singular individual's responsibility. This is bullshit. They always have somebody in charge. They always have somebody in fucking charge. It says the SAC of the Pittsburgh field office told the committee that the measures for securing the AGR building were briefed through the Donald Trump detail and not through the office, their office. And the Trump detail and the Secret Service operations were responsible for reviewing the plan. So everybody's blaming everybody else. The preliminary survey, which encapsulates the security plan, should get reviewed and approved by the local field office. So, like once again, they're all just blaming each other. As we discussed throughout this section, multiple foreseeable and preventable planning and operation failures by the Secret Service contributed to Crook's ability. This just tells me this was all a setup. This was maybe a CIA operative. I don't know. But we are so, as Trump supporters, as patriots, as Americans, we are so lucky that he missed. We are so lucky. So the overview of the planning. So prior to any event requiring Secret Service protection, they assigned an advanced team to plan security. Advanced team for the Butler rally consisted of a lead advanced agent, a site agent, and a site counterpart, an intelligence advanced agent, and in some cases a C-UAS advanced agent, among other potential asset agents. So a whole bunch of agents. So they had security diagrams, hospital surveys, transportation documents, blah, 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 blah. So let's see. So the U.S. Secret Service advanced agents assigned to the rally. So the lead advanced agent is from the Pittsburgh field office. So if he's a lead or she's a lead advanced agent, that means that's the fucking person in charge, right? Yeah, Tony, better to have the guns and not need them than to need them and not have them. So the site agent was Donald Trump detail. The site counterpart was the Pittsburgh field office. The intelligence advanced agent was from Pittsburgh. Technical security was from the technical security department. The sniper team was a special ops. And the Donald Trump detail was this last person, a advanced agent. The SAIC of the Pittsburgh field office explained that for campaigns, a jump team includes Secret Service, Homeland Security, Secret Service Memorandum and Understanding. ATF told the committee that there was an ATF agent present. But the ATF as an agency had no official presence at the rally. So everybody's like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I did not do it. Okay, so here's the site plan. Diagram from July 13th rally. So you see the crowd is, here's the crowd in the red. The stage was in the blue. The medical place was over there where the cross is. Mass decon, the local TAC, parking, the medical treatment tent, the stage. Hey, where's the building that he shot from? I'm guessing there's S, L, and F. It was called the ARG building, right? Where's the ARG building on here? Do you guys see an ARG building on here? Let me zoom in. Can I zoom in? Oh, I can't zoom in on this. Okay. I don't see an AGR building here. Where is the AGR building? I don't see it. Do you guys see it? Okay, so planning failures. Throughout the week, the Secret Service advanced personnel spoke or met with federal, state. They're just reiterating the same BS. Most of the interactions between the Secret Service, federal, state, and local law enforcement. Why do I not have the ability to do my thingy now? I can't do this anymore? Oh, man. Advanced agents did not document responsibility for securing the outer perimeter. The outside fence lines where individuals would be screened by magnetometers. They also did not share planning documents. So all this information should be shared. There we go. Now I can do this stuff again. Secret Service planning leads identified 3 security perimeters. This is all BS. We're not going to read all this stuff. You only got to read the first sentence to know what it says. Lead advanced planning agents could not answer questions about who specifically was responsible for determining the perimeter. So it's all a lack of their work. The SIC of Pittsburgh field office told the committee he was not responsible for reviewing or approving the perimeter decisions, and he was not present for the walkthrough of the site. Why not? Here it says the Secret Service failed to sufficiently coordinate with state and local law enforcement. Okay, we know that. On Monday, July 8th, Secret Service held a police meeting led by lead advance agent attendees, included the Secret Service, FBI, state, and local law enforcement. During that meeting, the Secret Service explained what assets, resources they wanted each agency to provide. On Tuesday, July 9th, agents from the Secret Service, PSP, and Butler County conducted separate site visits at the Butler Farm Show. Following their visits, they joined together at the Butler Barracks. where they reviewed the site on Google Earth. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's see here now. So this says this is the initial map from the July 9th meeting. Let's see, where is the ARG building? See, they don't even show the ARG building on here. So inside the red is inside the event, I'm guessing. Right? Okay, so it says the Secret Service did not adequately cover the AGR building. We knew that. So the U.S. Secret Service, once again, I can't do nothing here. Policy documents provide guidance on how to conduct advanced planning. Despite this guidance, in interviews with the committee, agents in charge of the advanced planning could not say with any specificity about the AGR building would be covered and who ultimately was responsible for it. Good night, Stacy. Good night. A Butler ESU police officers told the committee that during a July 11th police walkthrough of the Butler rally, here's what he said, explained where our teams were going to be. I told them that the area along the AGR fence line was a concern, the closeness to the stage. It wasn't a good vantage point for anybody to see even from the venue inside. I explained to them there would be cars parking alongside the road because it was close and people were walking up. He also stated that they did not have the manpower to lock this down area and needed to be locked down. So they were told and warned about this area. Specifically, the site agent told the committee Butler ESU did not inform her they did not have the manpower. But right here, he says it was brought up to our attention that the local Pennsylvania State Police won't have the manpower. So right here, they say it was brought to our attention. Down here, it said they, the site agent told the committee that they did not inform her. So which is it? Which is it? Prior to the July 13th rally, the Secret Service lead advance agent counter sniper team did not go into the AGR building as part of their advanced planning. Don't you think that's part of their planning? So it says there's no specific. There were several different plans in place, different pieces of the puzzle from the advance that all had their own stake in making sure that the building was not accessible. What a joke. What a joke. So here it says the Secret Service counter sniper team leader identified the AGR roof as a vulnerability, right here in bold letters, but did not ensure that local snipers could mitigate it. So the four counter snipers positioned on two barn roofs behind the stage played a key role in scanning for threats, including on and around the AGR building. Well, they didn't do a very good job, I guess, right? Interviews with the committee, the Secret Service sniper team, blah, blah, blah. So the image below shows positions of the Secret Service counter sniper, Hercules 1 and Hercules 2, positions during the rally. So let's see. Okay, so Hercules 1 and Hercules 2 are way down here, right? This is the stage. S is the stage. What is C? Which one is the AGR building? So C is the position where Crooks fired from. So Hercules 1 and Hercules 2, and so you guys can see it all. Hercules 1 and Hercules 2 are in the bottom right. Then the stage is in bright yellow, and then C is up there. You see where C is? So he shot at an angle right to the stage to hit President Trump in the ear. And so I would think H2 would be really good at being able to see it. Now, what is that LS? LS stands for local snipers. So wait a minute. Local snipers in the AGR building. What is AC? AC is air conditioning unit where Crooks climbed up the roof. So Crooks climbed up the roof all the way up here. You follow the red line. He walked over all these different roofs to get over there. You're telling me that in LS, where there was officers in that building, nobody saw him walk 1, 2, 3, 4 different buildings. Nobody saw him up there, not once. This is BS. This is BS. So it says here, the counter sniper team leader created a planning document as part of his advanced work for the Butler event that he and other Secret Service counter snipers would use for planning purposes, as well as for communicating about specific locations during the event. He identified where the counter snipers would be posted and took pictures of the views. So they took pictures ahead of time. These are what our views are going to be. This image below does not show the exact view that Hercules 2 had because it was not taken from the same part of the barn roof where Hercules 2 was positioned. So let's see what the picture shows. Okay, so this is what they're seeing from basically from the barn roof. Right? And to us, yes, that looks kind of far, but when you have a scope on you, and now Crooks was dressed in black, right? This roof is freaking white. This roof was freaking white. You see the AGR building on the left over there, right? But it's a white roof. How could you not see a black, if you're scanning, you should see that. So here it says, the secret sniper leader told the committee that when he initially went on the barn roof to take the photograph, I looked over at the AGR building, but I didn't really make a mental note of it. Hey, this is actually being blocked. Really? Freaking really? I call BS. And he says right here, honestly, I didn't think about it. This is one of the many threat areas that looked it. I wouldn't have mentioned that, hey, we can actually see the building on the left side, the private residence and the wood line, and you guys can't see that. So these guys train for years. This is their whole job, to look at every single thing. Their whole entire job is to look at every single possibility of how you can be shot at, how somebody could maybe, I don't know, even use a bow and arrow. I don't know. That's their whole job. They've been trained this for how many years to know how to do this? But they got it wrong. It's kind of hard to believe. All of these agents, and they got it freaking wrong. It says local snipers explained to the committee that they understood their primary areas of responsibility to be the rally crowd. So local snipers also explained that they were positioned behind windows and behind their weapons, which were approximately 6 to 7 feet away from the windows. So now here's a sector map of the Butler rally. Trying to see what I can. Fucking Donnie's bringing in the goddamn mosquitoes. So it looks like, to me, Sector 7 in the green there, that is where the AGR building is. Sector 3 is probably where the crowd and the stage was. So what did I say? Sector 7 doesn't show us Sector 7 is here, but Sector 3 is the entrance to the event. So it says, according to one of the local snipers, the committee interviewed the snipers in the building were responsible for covering part of Sector 2, identified by the dark green box. No Secret Service personnel involved in the planning who the committee interviewed questioned the local snipers. So here it says, a view from the local sniper post in the AGR building. So he's in the AGR building. You're telling me he didn't hear somebody running up and down on top? Although local snipers would not have been able to see Crooks from their position, they had access to a break room on the same floor. Their break room contained a south-facing window and was closest to the location. So that, if somebody's got to be on break, right? Views of the left from the AGR building. You're looking left from the AGR break room. So they could have seen him up there if they looked. You know what they're probably doing is looking at their phone. It says, as can be seen above, a sniper who assumed this position would have obstructed view of what was understood to be the primary area of responsibility. Local snipers told the committee that their understanding was their role was to act as snipers concealed within the AGR building and looking into the crowd. So they were told to just look at the crowd, which, if you're just looking at, I've been to numerous Trump rallies. I went, I'm on a scooter, so they had, I watched everybody walk through. They got to go through this, the buzzers and the metal detectors. And because I'm on my scooter, it was like I was getting, they should have gave me a couple $1 bills. They were freaking touching me so much, looking for guns and weapons and checking backpacks. Why are you worried about in the crowd for an active shooter when you should be focusing on the roofs and stuff? That's kind of, anyways. So right here is how Crooks got up, I guess. View of the AGR second floor. So I think they're saying this is the air conditioning unit that he climbed up on to get up there. So it says this is from the second floor of the AGR building. This point of view is the point of view where the counter sniper team locally was posted. The gold arrows indicate where the shooter fired from. So this is from the second floor of the AG. This is a point of view where the counter sniper team was posted. So the counter sniper team was posted, and they couldn't see him. Look at the arrow. The arrow is where he shot from. You're telling me they had the perfect view of him. The perfect freaking view of him. Says multiple law enforcement line of sight concerns were not sufficiently mitigated in advance. So it says, but in the end, like me, I thought from the way it sounded like there was going to be a lot more tractors, vehicles than normal. I mean, I think there was only a handful of tractors on this side. They discussed the AGR line of sight concerns throughout the week, including the day before the rally. The Secret Service lead advance agent noted that the rally site had still not been built out as the time I left on Friday, and the second supervisor from the Trump detail were continuing to walk through the site, discuss line of sight issues. So they were discussing all these issues. Ultimately, however, the large trucks were not used because they said they're going to use large trucks. Resource requests for additional assets were denied and others were not made. So it says PSP initially told the United States Secret Service they would be able to provide 10 to 15 troopers. So PSP is the Pittsburgh State Police, but ultimately provided a total of 30 troopers, including 22 troopers on site. The Trump detail requested specific assets, as discussed below, and but President Trump's detail requested counter assault teams. So they requested it. They were used to identify and observe our perimeter areas of significant threats. So it says, while President Trump did not have a CSU for the outdoor rally that was expected to have 15,000 attendees, the First Lady did have a CSU assigned to her for the indoor event, the same event that only had 410 people inside. There were not snipers inside the building. They went outside to look. It says a site counterpart for the July 13th rally noted that advanced agents often already know what assets will be provided before putting in a request. A lot of time, I think it is like you can make the request, but you know what you're going to get. Interesting. Errors in security planning documents. So at least 2 documents that the Secret Service created detailing security specifications and postings contained errors regarding the positions of the local counter snipers at the event. One document, let's read this. Mostly this italicized stuff is good to read. Once the paperwork is submitted, we normally brief during the post-standard briefing to make sure that everybody is aware of our tactical assets or special tacticals from local law enforcement. And that was briefed as part of if there's any corrections or anything that needs to be addressed prior to the bid, or even during the post-standard briefing, which is what they said, and they noticed, blah, blah, blah. Another document, the site contains overhead images. Communication failures. So multiple Secret Service officials, including Acting Director Rowe, have acknowledged communication failures on July 13th. So here it says there's a lot of things that we could have done, but it has to be relayed. It has to be communicated in order for those to be put into place. I didn't know anything was going on. So you're telling me these guys had like 20, 30 fucking meetings before this event, walkthroughs and everything, and nobody told them that was needed? So the assistant director said, well, I did not conduct the advance. I don't have firsthand knowledge, but based on the information I've learned after the fact, and even one could almost observe from a third-party perspective that the communications plan was, in my opinion, siloed. We had a security room with the Secret Service supervisor, a member of the Pennsylvania State Police, and then approximately 120 to 30 yards away, there was a mobile command. So I will speak in generalities to answer your question. In law enforcement, one of the most basic tenets is one has to be able to communicate. What frustrates me, and maybe I'm dating myself, but I keep hearing about technology and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So a Pineka radio system where if you just had a well-staffed unified command post, like I said a few minutes ago, Tony's saying there's good evidence that might have not been Chris, but the other guy. I don't know. So I don't have all the facts about this investigation. And let's see. Oh, what did you hear? There's a guy in so-and-so? So They had, like I said, they had no communications back and forth. So it says, I mean, if I were to use an analogy, if there's any football fans, if we have the coach calling plays to the quarterback and we have the defensive coordinator on the same radio frequency, it's not going to work. So they're trying to blame that, well, we don't want to have everybody on the same frequency. Okay, so I get that. But if you have one single command post, if you have one single room where you just have the top people from each agency talking in their headset, right? They can have headsets, so it's quiet. And they could just say, hey, there's somebody on the roof. And then everybody in the whole room that's in command of the whole room, you know, if you have one for the PSP, the police department, I mean, the state troopers, if you have one for the Secret Service, you have one for the local sheriffs, if you have one for the snipers, they're all having their own headsets. But if they're all in the same room with the main person in charge, they can say, hey, he says there's a sniper on the roof on the AGR building. Yeah, this person says they're running over there with guns. That didn't happen. It's all because they didn't have one command room, which I thought is normal standard operating procedure. Am I wrong about that? Is that not normal standard operating procedure? I'm trying to fast forward this because it's a 90-page document that repeats over and over again. It says U.S. Secret Service officials expected the U.S. Secret Service security room would relay relevant information from all the other. So they expected and having him do it are two different gosh darn things. The siloed communications hindered information sharing at the July 13th event because they were on separate radio channels, right? Several U.S. Secret Service personnel told the committee that it is common practice to exchange radios with local partners to facilitate communications. So why didn't they do that? Secret Service and local law enforcement agents operated secure communication centers. Okay, here we go. Local command posts and Secret Service room communications. So from the Butler ESU command, they had to call the Pennsylvania State Police Sergeant, who then had to talk to the U.S. Secret Service security room agent, which then would radio to the U.S. Secret Service personnel, which is, as example, Donald Trump detail and post standards. But so here's how it worked. Local law enforcement, I went in the wrong direction. Local law enforcement, like the snipers, patrol, counter assault, contacted the ESU commander. He would then call the my brain's freezing right now. Philadelphia, no, whatever. The PSP sergeant, right? So they should have all been in one fucking room. Is what should have happened. So here it says text and email communication between local. So local snipers in the building could text local snipers in the grandstand. If you're focused on your weapon and seeking people, why are you texting? There should be no text there. It should be radios. So then the local snipers in the grandstand could text the counter snipers team leader, who would then email somebody else over here. Why are they using email and text? Why aren't they talking into their headsets and stuff? Radio problems added to communication challenges. This was a setup, folks. I don't know, Tony. I mean, big time conspiracy theorist, but it could be wrong. So Pittsburgh field office did not have a working radio on his person during his entire time. So the person in charge didn't have a fucking working radio. The responsibilities for the Secret Service security room were not well defined. I got him. Secret sniper, counter snipers, and local snipers described line of sight shooting communication limited. So on July 13th, 4 Secret Service counter snipers assigned to the Butler rally were split in 2-man teams, Hercules 1 and Hercules 2. The image below depicts the positions of law enforcement. Okay. That's the picture of that. At approximately 5:45, so we read all this already, so why are they putting this here again? Image of 5:52 USS Secret Service email notifying counter snipers. So they're emailing this shit. Why are they emailing? So from the local police department, if spotted, please notify PI at go direct with security room. Kid learning around the building, probably leaning around the building where we are in. AGR, I believe it is. I did not see him with the rangefinder looking towards stage for your information. If you want to notify secret, why are they emailing this? Trump said that he is going to have a meeting with the president of Ukraine. I don't think that's a good idea. The agent with the drone had to call tech support. Yeah. So here's Crooks alive. So this email above included 2 images of Crooks, although his identity was unknown at the time. So they had pictures of him already. They seen him at 5:52 p.m. And they're emailing it. Why? Email is fucking... After we were searching for several minutes, I saw 2 white vehicles pull into the AGR parking lot, but they were obscured by that tree line. Reposition ourselves so our tripod was in the center of the roof, blah, blah, blah. However, in that short amount of time, the counter sniper team leader told the committee, there you go, when we looked up, just plain eyes, no optics or anything, you could see police running towards the building with their hands on the pistols. I think one actually had a pistol facing towards the ground out of the holster. That's a pretty big deal for us. So immediately, we turned and faced our guns towards the threat area. We didn't know what was happening, but it seemed pretty serious, especially with the locals' response. So if they had radios, they could have said, there's a guy on the roof, and they would have taken him out instantly, right? But no, these guys are using text messages. They don't have no way to communicate back and forth. This is bullshit, folks. So there were police running with guns out, and there was a couple of people just running away from the AGR building. That looks like citizens. I guess you would say just normal people. So something was wrong. We didn't know what, but there's a lot going on. As a sniper, then, when you see something going on over there, aren't you trained to start using your scope to find what's going on? So they say the question, so why not in that moment send a signal or a radio call saying, do not let the protectee on stage, or if the protectee was already on stage, take them off, right? The answer. So let's see what their answer is. At that time, we didn't know what we were working with. Obviously, but police are running towards a situation that could be anything from a medical situation to a potential man with a gun. We didn't know what we were having, and I didn't have enough information to go with. But they said they saw the police running guns drawn. If they see your guns drawn, that tells you it's not a medical instance, right? So the police are working situation at 3 o'clock. We know they're working. What are they working on? We don't know. We're trying not to clog the radio. So question, understood. But you mentioned you saw someone with their gun drawn. Answer, yes. Well, So then the question was, that seems like an extremely serious situation, more than just looking for a suspicious person. The answer was yes. Question, it seemed like a major elevation of a threat level, correct? Answer, that's why we placed our rifles in the tripods and started searching through the rifle scopes themselves. Shouldn't they already be on their tripods? Question, but beyond that, is that not enough to say we have something imminent happening here if their guns are drawn and we need to ensure the safety of the protectee? Answer, potentially, it was definitely elevated. We're trying to figure out what was happening. It's happening very quickly. It's a very dynamic situation, and then they stopped him. They asked him the question, said, did the thought even cross your mind that you should inform someone to keep the protectee from going on stage? Or if he was already on stage, take him back. Did that thought even cross your mind? And so whoever speaking responded, the thought did not cross my mind. It was more find out what's happening, figure out what's happening. Can we help? Can we take action? This was from one of the snipers. It says, based on the estimated likely route Crook took across the roof, starting at 6:05 p.m., counter snipers in the Hercules 1 position could have had a direct line of sight to him for at least part of his movements. Hold on, there's something crazy going. It says in disaster emergency. Oh, it's some political shit. Line of sight for him, at least part of his movements across the roof. The photograph below was taken by the committee staff from an AGR roof looking southward towards the U.S. Secret Service Hercules Position 1. So let's see what it looks like. Where's the picture? Okay, so the approximate location of Hercules 1, which is a much steeper roof than they said that they couldn't. So they said they couldn't come over here because the roof was too steep, right? But look at the roof of the barn they were on, much steeper than this roof. And look, even if he crawled on this roof right here, they had a direct view of him. Unless he was kind of over here to the left behind the tree. But where this picture is taken of, it's almost all the way to the left. So they should have seen him walking a little bit. So it says, although the FBI confirmed the subject movement across multiple AGR building roofs between 6:05 and 6:08 p.m., the committee cannot know for certain that Hercules 1 Secret Service snipers would have spotted him if they were facing that direction at any time. Crooks was in the Secret Service counter sniper sights for mere seconds before he fired. They said that multiple times. Intelligence concerns. The rally was the first time U.S. Secret Service sent counter snipers. And a U.S. Secret Service official made aware that the credible intelligence existed of a threat, which before, remember, they said there was no critical threat. Okay, so the lead advance agent, he said that there was credible intelligence that he could not speak about, and that they were going to get Secret Service counter sniper in advance for that reason. And did he say why he couldn't speak about it? The lead advance agent said, because it's information that he wasn't able to pass. Did he say it was classified? He did not use the word classified on the phone, but from my general knowledge, when you see that you cannot pass something on the phone, the understanding is that it is classified, and he can't speak out about it on the phone. So then they're asking the lead agents again, do you know why? So I guess stepping back, was that the first time you heard about even a request for counter snipers? And he said, the Pittsburgh SAIC said, I didn't even know there was a request. So they asked him, did you know they were sent, why they were sent? And he's like, I don't. So this is a snapshot from the preliminary survey. It says, is the intelligence advanced for this visit? At this time, no adverse intelligence has been developed concerning this visit. Any adverse intelligence that may arise will be passed to all working supervisors. At the time I filled out this document, my understanding was that there was no adverse intelligence to pass on to the group as a whole. That is not all encompassing as intelligence. So they're saying, yeah, we got information, but we can't pass it out to everybody because of classification, being classified. The FBI has not identified a motive or any co-conspirators or associates of crooks. The FBI director, they testified that integrated relationship between FBI, Secret Service, and every other state, federal, blah, 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 constructs like a joint terrorism task force. There still should be one leader, right? Should be one leader. There's a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. They're planning to have a protectee with 15 to 20,000 people in an outdoor event when there's an active threat for the drone attack. That was definitely one thing that obviously raised my concerns, and I know everybody's concerns. So they're concerned about a drone attack. Here we go, threats. Excerpt from site agent counterpart notes taken during the July 13th rally. So it says threats. Why am I hearing that there were threats to the site on TV? How can the SAIC of our field office not know about any threats? And why did they feel that only one part of the SOD was sufficient to cover it instead of the entire package? So that was field notes from some site agent. Let's see their main findings. This is all a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Shortly after 4 p.m., I continued to troubleshoot it myself just for the best of my abilities, turning it on and off, reconnecting stuff. So they're talking about the radio. What's up, Casey? At some time after 4 p.m., I get a call back from tech support that says another person from... So he's saying his radio wasn't working. He was trying to fix it, right? Please don't... And it said he looked at my system that was connected, and it looked like 2 boxes. Please don't ask me what these boxes are. It's beyond me. But 2 boxes were not talking to each other, and to try to change out our Ethernet cable between those 2 boxes that connected the 2 of them. So let's see what the question is. It says, what is your understanding of how the system interacts with the mobile cell networks? He said, I don't know. It interacts with it. I believe it does. The technical aspect of it, communications, I don't know. They said, okay, but is it your understanding that the equipment has to be connected to a mobile network in order to be functioning? I think it needs a cellular signal to my knowledge. So if that's what you mean by mobile network, yes. What's up, Casey? So then they said the cable that you replaced to connect the systems again, was that cable Secret Service property? And he said, nope, it was from Trump campaign radio and video audio personnel. And they said, is that standard protocol to use a cable that isn't Secret Service property in this case? And he said, no, I just wanted to get the system up. Aren't they supposed to be like NASA, where you have backup and backup systems? You know, like 2 and 3 backup systems. Let's go a little bit farther. I'm just trying to get through this, guys. So identification and search for the individual on July 13th at 4:26 p.m. The AGR sniper from Beaver County, who had been positioned inside the AGR building, exited the building at the end of his shift and noticed a suspicious person sitting near that AGR building. The sniper texted 2 other local snipers remaining in the AGR building. Someone followed our lead and snuck in and parked by our cars, just so you know. Just letting you know this because you see me go out with my rifle and put it in my car, so he knows you guys are up here. And he's sitting to the direct right of the picnic table. So FBI initially testified that the first reported sighting of the shooter was at 4:26 p.m. But here it says 4:26 p.m. So AGR Sniper 1 posted in a window inside the AGR building, observed an individual walk by the window, who the sniper later determined was Crooks. This was first confirmed sighting of Crooks by law enforcement 1 hour and 1 minute before the shooting. So 61 minutes before the shooting, they see a guy in an area where they're not supposed to be, and you don't go up and talk to him and interview him? What the heck is going on here? At 5:14, the sniper 1 took a photograph. 5:14 p.m. took a photograph of Crooks using his cell phone. That sniper later told the committee that he was not sure at the time why he took the photograph, but that something seemed off about the individual. Right away, if something seems off in your Secret Service, you should say something, right? So Sniper 1 says looking at his phone, news feeds, and rangefinder confirmed through the binoculars. So Sniper 1 texted all local snipers. And once again, why are they texting? They should have a mic and phone, or mic and ears, right? He said, kid leaning around the building we are going in, AGR, I believe it is. I did see him with the rangefinder looking towards the stage. For your information, if you want to notify Secret Service snipers to look out, I lost sight of him. Also, a bike with a backpack sitting next to it at the rear of the building was not seen earlier, and they included 2 pictures of Crooks in there. Which, here's the text message to 7 people. It says game time at 5:34, 5:30, so 5:35 gives a thumbs up. 5:38, here's picture of Crooks. Then it says 5:38, kid learning around building. Stupid autocorrect, right? AGR, I believe. I had not seen with the rangefinder. If you want to notify the snipers, look out. I lost sight of him. Also a bike. So 2 minutes later, says call it into command and have a uniform check it out. 2 minutes later. So it took till 5:42, which is 4 minutes later. It says Sniper 1 radioed on the local ESU channel. Just an FYI, we have a younger white male, long hair, lurking around the building. Just FYI. Right? Just FYI. 5:43, the commander responded to the 5:42 radio call. Copy, we'll send somebody to check it out. 5:44, Butler, state police sergeant stationed at the security room. He said received. There we go. So this was the first confirmed communication to the Secret Service about Crooks approximately 27 minutes before the shooting. So in 27 minutes, they couldn't find him. 5:45, the ESU radioed on local ESU channel. Should be en route. If you get a visual, let me know. So that was 7 minutes later after the first contact or first viewing. Butler ESU sniper lead team texted them saying that hold on, at AGR sending a uniformed office, kid leaning, blah blah blah. 5:47, their state trooper who had been told about the suspicious person at 5:44 then called 2 undercover troopers stationed at the Sheetz gas station and gave them a description of the suspicious kid. 5:48, the commander texted the PSP sergeant stationed there. So why are they texting once again? They need to be having fucking radio service. I mean, how many times have you gotten a text message, you didn't hear it, it was in your pocket, right? Could have been a loud crowd. 5:52, after receiving photographs of Crooks, the VAS agent sent photographs to the Secret Service counter snipers and said, be on the lookout. 5:45, be on the lookout. 5:55, they sent radio transmissions. So took them 3 minutes to send radio transmissions. At 6 o'clock, former President Trump took the stage. At 6:02 p.m., the Beaver County ESU sniper who took the photograph of Crooks radioed on the local channel. All right, subject is in between the AGR buildings. He's got a backpack now. He just went towards Sheets. And President Trump was, well, we'll keep going. That was at, what time was that? That was at 6:02 p.m. So at 6:02 p.m., he said, I saw him walking. 6:03 p.m., but they said they relayed it via phone call. Once again, why a phone call? Why aren't they all on the same radio? 6:04, they sent troopers to look for him. 6:05, Crooks climbed up. So they know what time he climbed up. 6:05, Crooks climbed up an air conditioning unit onto a roof on the north end of the AGR building. So if they know he did this at 6:05, that means somebody saw him, right? So at 6:05, if you see somebody climbing up there, you should be running over there and have the snipers looking at the roof. At 6:05, remember, 6:05. So at 6:06 to 6:10, they positioned in the AGR building who took the photograph of Crooks and went downstairs to exit to meet law enforcement responding suspicious person to let them know the subject is around the building. Once again, where's their radios to contact each other? So that's 5 minutes later. At 6:08:32, hold on, a Butler police officer radioed, someone's on the roof. So at 6:05, they see somebody climbing on the roof. 3 minutes later, the local police said, hey, there's somebody climbing the roof. Plus 3 minutes that they knew somebody was climbing up and didn't do a gosh darn thing about it. At 6:09, the officer radioed, we got him. We don't have him in custody, but he's right straight in front of me by the pine tree, standing upwards. He has a backpack. Then they radioed, they lost sight of him. So that's 4 minutes later. So the Butler ESU commander called the Pennsylvania State Police Sergeant to notify him that the suspicious person had been looking for was on the roof. So 6:09, so that's 4 minutes later. At 6:10, body camera footage from the police show that the counter sniper's positioned on the roof of the barn behind the stage repositioned himself to face towards the AGR building. So 6:10. So 6:10, that's 5 minutes later. At 6:11, approximately 6:11, the Butler Township officer was lifted onto the roof. And he stated that he saw Crooks 5 to 6 feet away with his gun pointed directly at me. I thought I was fucked because all he had to do was pull the trigger, so my hands came off and I went back down onto the concrete. 6:11:03 p.m., the officer then radioed on the local officer's radio. He's armed. I saw him. He's laying down. He's got a gun. So 6:11. 6:11:03. So very beginning of 6:11. Around that time, according to U.S. Secret Service Acting Director Rowe, a member of a former President Trump's protective detail contacted their field office to inquire about the radio update. At 6:11:25, which is 22 seconds later, Crooks fired an initial volley of 3 shots. So 22 seconds. Am I on Ozempic? No, I don't use Ozempic. No, why? Why do you ask? So 22 seconds. They said, hey, he's got a gun. He's up there. So you're telling me in 22 seconds that the snipers couldn't go and they knew what building to look at. He was wearing all black. He's on a white roof. You're telling me in 22 seconds they couldn't find him and shoot him? 22 seconds, folks. So the local law enforcement fired at Crooks. The committee learned that after Crooks fired, a Butler ESU officer between the stands in the AGR building looked in the direction of the shots that had been fired, saw Crooks' head and part of his shoulders, and he relayed to the committee that he shouldered his weapon. He saw Crooks fire his 8th round and saw the gas come from the muzzle. I heard the snap, and then immediately I returned fire. FBI said we have no forensic evidence indicating that the sound fired by local officers struck or the subject or the other rifle. So it says Crooks went down, slowly came back up. As he was pointing back up, I was ready to press the second one, and that's when Secret Service counter sniper Hercules took him out. He went down. He wasn't like getting down like a reaction. He slowly slumped over, my left, his right, and then slowly came back up and then gotten taken out by the Secret Service counter sniper. What the heck is going on here? We got some trolls in here, I guess. So at 6:12, a Butler ESU sniper in the AGR building radioed on local ESU channel. Shooter is down. Shooter's down. So in 22 seconds, snipers that were pointed at a building could not find somebody dressed all in black on a white roof and take them out. So this is so far what they've gotten. If you want, I will post this. So if you guys go to my Twitter account, X, you can go to Eddie Block Films on X. I'm going to put it up there right now. And you guys can take and do with this as you wish and read it all in full. That way, you guys can read the whole thing for yourself, because 90 pages I'm not doing on the whole entire show. Bam, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. It is now on my X, so you guys can go there and read the whole darn thing. All right, let's move on. Where are we at now? I don't even know which item we're at. There we go. Okay. Here we go, guys. Israel prepares for a ground invasion of Lebanon. So, Israel prepares for it. Wall Street Journal says that Israel's military chief told the troops that the airstrikes against Hezbollah were in preparation for a potential ground invasion of Lebanon, after Israeli air defenses intercepted the militant group's first attempted missile strike on Tel Aviv. All on Tel Aviv. So the comments, I got to erase this one now too. We had double chats last night because our chat wasn't working. So let's see. The comments came after U.S. officials pushed a plan for initial pause in the fighting for up to 4 weeks with help of the partners in Egypt and Qatar. So Israel prepares for ground invasion of Lebanon. This is just getting worse and worse and worse, folks. And once again, I'm going to tell you, I think if we had President Trump in office right now, he would be able to go down there and negotiate, and none of this would be happening. He would have probably negotiated this away a long time ago. Long time ago. Long time ago. So let's do our question of the day, because I went so long on that report that we want to get onto this video I want to show you guys. So Jennifer's not here. I can't ask her. Does your family have any traditions? What about you guys? Does your family have any kinds of traditions out there? So I'm Dutch. I'm from Holland. My mom's from Holland, and our tradition is, so for Christmas, when I was young, we had a motorhome. You know, one of the old Winnebagos where the kids could ride on top of the driver. So every Christmas we would drive around with hot chocolate and cocoa, or whatever, and go watch all the lights. But in Holland, it's a Dutch tradition that for Christmas you give everybody their initial in a chocolate letter. So you get this chocolate letter, which is, so let me show you. Let me go to the Dutch store. Let's go to Dutch store, Dutch bakery, and we'll pick one. Here's one in Colorado Springs. Let me go to the one in Bellflower, because I know the one in Bellflower has this stuff. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about with like a Dutch tradition. Let me put you up to full safari. I love this place, Holland International Market. Let's look at their website. Where's their website? Here we go. And I'll show you guys what I mean by when I talk about Dutch chocolate. So you get letters. Like, see, here we go. So here's the letter. So letter A, B, C. All the letters are sold out because it's not Christmas time yet. But for Christmas, what you do is you buy everybody a chocolate letter for their birthday. Right? And so you see the stuff called hachel. You guys call them sprinkles. We call them hachel in Dutch. And the way you eat these, you're going to laugh. But this is how our family eats it, and many other Dutch people eat it. What we do is you take white bread or wheat, you put butter on there, and then you sprinkle this on top, and that's how you eat it. It's a chocolate sandwich. No lie. I mean, look, you can even see it on there. Chocolate sandwiches. And we also have like the fruity ones that we do. Let's see what other chocolate. I'll show you what my favorite chocolates are. Like these are the best right here, but you got to get the milk chocolate. The Reuter, the one that are I like the bigger strips. Like, see, these are all the chocolate letters. I don't like these. Oh wait, no, these Verklad, these are good. So what this is, it's milk chocolate, but there's a little bit of fruit in the middle. I've never seen those tulips before. That must be an American thing. Must be it. So these things, you guys have probably seen these now. Well, these are just the wafers. So the middle, all the way on the left for $3.80. These are the Stroop waffles. They sell them now at Costco's. They sell them now at Costco, which is pretty cool. Let me show you some of the what else I like. What else do I like? I'm a Dutch boy. Definitely a Dutch boy. None of this stuff. My sister, she loves, so oh my gosh, here we go. This is hazelnut, the hazelnut chocolate right here in the middle, all the way on the right. Oh my gosh, hazelnut chocolate. I love it. Okay, that's all of the chocolates. Let's see what else we got on here. Cookies. Let's see what. So these are the stroopwafel cookies right here. See, it's the third one in on the top. Those are great. So these windmill traditional, the ones all the way on the left. Let's see if I zoom. See these ones right here. So these are the cookies that we get, and they're speculoos cookies. And you put these, you dip out. As a kid, we either dip them in milk or tea. So these are for when you get your tea. You eat these, and it's oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of what kind of cookie it is called. It is they are. My brain's freezing. I can't. What is here we go. It's just a what do they make? It's gingerbread cookies, I think. What they make the gingerbread houses out of. Let's see what else do I like here. Now I gotta go down to LA and get me some good Dutch food. So this is the best brand right here, the Stroopwafels. That's the best brand you can get. The other one's not so much. Not so much. And these two right here, these ones, these are more like your I'm trying to think of what kind of cookie, how to explain these. I like these Verklad cookies too. Those are really good. I'm trying to think of how to explain them because they're all in Dutch and I'm not that good. Now my sister loves the licorice. So like these ones, we'd always get these ones. These ones, oh my goodness, I love those. But this one right here, this is double salt. See how it says double salt? That's double salt licorice. My sister actually has me get her the triple salt. If they don't have it, then I get her the double salt. So let me show you something else. Where are they? Where are they? We're Dutch. We love licorice. We love licorice in Holland. I used to get these coins a lot when I was a kid. The coins are really good. And it's double salt, of course. It's salt licorice. Salt licorice. What's really good is if I can find them, they have these candies. They look like M&Ms, and they're black and white, and it's salt licorice, right? And oh my gosh, it's really bad. So this one right here, these white and red ones that I'm showing you, these are actually, it's got a mint inside. So it's white on the outside like an M&M, but it's mint on the inside. Those are delicious. What am I looking for here? I'm trying to find, so there's stuff called the Red Band. So it's wine gums. They're called wine gums. Oh my goodness, those are the best. Those are the best. Even my stepdad, every time I go, he's like, you got to get some of those for me. Where's the freaking... Oh, I'll have to look at the other ones then. So it might not be under licorice, chocolate, and... We already looked at chocolate, right? Breads and cakes. Okay, so this stuff right here. So this stuff right here... oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of how you call them. But these are like your breakfast stuff. It's kind of like an Egg McMuffin, but it's like real hard. It's crunchy. My sister loves those. I don't like those as much. I don't like them as much. Let's see what else we got. Oh my goodness. Hold on, wait. Tampusa. Hold on. I gotta show you this stuff. Let me go back. Tampusan. This stuff right here, sold out, right? This stuff right here, this is so good. So it's like a pastry on the bottom. Then it's got like a foam, like a creamy stuff in the center. I don't know exactly what it's made of. And then the top has like a plastic, a pink glaze, like a sugary glaze on top. Really good. Now this thing, croquetas. So what this is, it's a potato. It's like a potato wrap. And what you do is you deep fry them, you cook them, and then you go and you just put them in mustard. So seasoned with beef. So here's what it is. It's beef stock. It has carrots, celery, onion, spices, seasoning, flour. These things are, oh my gosh, delicious. Just I get every time I go there to the Dutch baker down there, I always get that. Vegetables and pickles. Let's see what they got under here. My mom would always get the super hot sauce. Let me see if I can see if it's here. And Dutch people, we love mayonnaise. We put mayonnaise on everything. You put mayonnaise on your French fries, you name it, we put mayonnaise on it. Just a Dutch way. Just the Dutch way. I'm surprised they didn't have wine gums in here. Like, if you know Knorr, have you ever seen the commercials for Knorr soups? That's Dutch. Is anybody even in here anymore? Did y'all lose me yet? Anyways, let's get back to what we were doing. I went on a tangent. Let's get back to where we were at. We did that one. All right, so Ryan Routh is charged with 5 separate counts. Oops, I'm trying to erase this chat. 5 separate counts of attempted assassination. So Ryan Wesley Routh was indicted on a federal grand jury in Miami late September 24th on 5 counts related to the attempted assassination of former President Donald J. Trump. And what we're going to do here is go to X. We got this on it. We'll go to full Safari. So grand jury in Florida has indicted him. So what are the counts? Where are the counts at? September 15th. Where's the count? So it doesn't say enough. So according to court documents published on Monday, Routh was allegedly written a letter before his attempt on Trump's life, addressing the world. We saw that. Offering $150 million to whoever complete the job. Why would he write that before? Why would he write that before? Because in the letter, remember what? So this doesn't make sense. Because in the letter it said, I ran and I failed. I ran and I failed. So this to me either was a setup. I don't know. Maybe he planned on running. Isn't that weird? That's weird. That really bothers me now. That really bothers me now. Really bothers me. Okay, so since we're running late, we're trying to go fast. House approves of a stopgap bill to avoid government shutdown. So the Hill approved a 3-month government funding bill Wednesday to avoid an end-of-the-month shutdown, sending the package of the Senate for consideration. The chamber cleared the legislation, which would fund the government at current levels until December 20th, in a 341 to 82 vote, including support from 209 Democrats and 132 Republicans. All 82 no votes came from Republicans. The legislature also included $231 million in funding for the U.S. Secret Service after the pair of assassination attempts on former President Trump. Once signed into law, the stopgap bill will be set up another shutdown battle in the post-election lame duck season. Interesting. Very interesting. Did I have any notes on this one? No, but the next one I do. So Biden's Department of Defense commits $500 million annually to study women's health. Says the United States is $35 trillion in debt. It's necessary spending right now. Is this necessary spending right now? First Lady Jill Biden announced Monday that the Pentagon intends to commit $500 million to women's health research as part of a broader White House push to increase funding for the study of women's health. Now ask yourself, why is Jill Biden announcing this? Shouldn't this be something that Joe Biden announces? Why Jill Biden? Well, let's find out, because we have something on it. So let's find out right here. It says Joe Biden just made a weird announcement about the Defense Department. It gets weirder given who announced the funding and where. First Lady Joe Biden unveiled it at the Pentagon's plan at this year's Clinton Global Initiative an annual conference co-founded by Bill and Hillary Clinton. The reason I'm so glad you're invited here today is this big announcement. Why is she making this big announcement? Let's hear her.
The reason I'm so glad that you invited me here today is this big announcement. So the Department of Defense has now committed $500 million
Jennifer.
to women's health, to women in the service, which then transcends to all women. And so I'm so excited about that. It's a big deal, and it's about time. So we're going to get moving on this.
So I get it. She's a woman, right? And this is good for women. But why is she the one doing this? And it says moments after Joe Biden made the announcement, the Clintons honored President Joe Biden with the 2024 Clinton Global Citizen Award. This is what you call being trapped, joked Biden. Let's see this. Let's see what he says.
Hillary, I want to thank you, and I maybe shouldn't do this publicly, but thank you personally for the way you have helped me, the way you've spoken up for me with such passion. I can't tell you. You can ask Jill. Anyway, I love you. I love you.
From one pedophile to another pedophile, right? From one pedophile to another pedophile. Notice the started lock. They don't want discussion on it. They can't. So you can't even talk about it. Wow, what a joke, folks. Welcome to the world we're living in. All right, this is the last one. So after this one, guys, we are going only to Rumble so we can watch a video that I have from when I was in Austin a couple years ago about some transgender stuff and children, very young children. So it says the state attorney general's rally questioned why the American Academy of Pediatrics still supports trans surgeries for minors. So this is perfect to go into the video I'm about to show you. It says in recent years, many states have passed laws protecting children from dangerous transgender care. This type of care has been promoted by several medical organizations, including the American Academy of Pediatrics. Other organizations like the American Society of Plastic Surgeons have backed away from this kind of care, noting that there is considerable uncertainty as to the long-term efficacy for the use of chest and genital surgical interventions for the treatment of adolescents with gender dysphoria. And this existing evidence base is viewed as low quality, low certainty. This week, 21 state attorneys generals sent a letter to the AAP over its unwavering support for transgender care for minors. This includes puberty blockers, hormone therapy treatment, and irreversible sex reassignment surgery, led by Idaho Attorney General Raul Labrador. The letter points out that the organization has abandoned its commitment to sound medical judgment by supporting these treatments for children. They're children. They're children. Kids aren't making these decisions. It's the parents making these decisions, folks. Why is the American Academy of Pediatrics continuing to endorse puberty blockers for kids despite mounting evidence that these drugs have irreversible consequences? That's what 20 state attorney generals are asking. They say AAP's deceptive claims could violate consumer protective laws. So we do have something on X for this. And it says, why is the American Academy of Pediatricians concerning to endorse puberty blockers for kids despite mounting evidence? This is from Caitlin Richardson. We'll have to follow her. So here's a letter that she wrote to them. Dear Dr. Hoffman and Cressley, when the American Academy of Pediatrics speaks its 67,000 pediatrician members, the broader medical community, the public, and especially parents are listening. Since its founding in 1930, it has exercised great influence on the practice of medicine and the treatment of infants, children, and young adults. Often the AAP has exercised influence responsibly. It has been at the forefront of important advances in the field of pediatrics, and its medical recommendations have been carefully vetted and grounded in a safe and reliable methodology. And for the most part, it has not allowed non-medical considerations to infiltrate its guidance. But when it comes to treating children diagnosed with gender dysphoria, the AAP has abandoned its commitment to sound medical judgment. In 2023, it reaffirmed the 2018 AAP policy statement on gender affirming care. That policy statement endorses treating minors diagnosed with gender dysphoria, puberty blockers, and cross-sex stuff. Wow. So guys, somebody type in !Rumble into the chat, because we're going to Rumble only and locals only now, because we're about to show video talking about this, which cannot be shown on YouTube. I don't see why it can't be shown on YouTube, but you know what? It can't. And so we're going to Rumble. So as I speak right now, we're switching to Rumble and locals only, guys. Here we go.